Oh my God, my gorgeous Scorpione, oh my God. At the beginning of this week, you are going to have a huge mind-blowing discovery. There is something that you are not, there's something that is Oh my God, my gorgeous Scorpione, oh my God. At the beginning of this week, you are just going to have such an amazing discovery. There is something that you are going to discover, and this in itself is going to change your life. This is going to change your world forever. You're about to reconnect with yourself like never before. This discovery you're going to have, it's going to clearly make you aware of a limitless potential, and also the whole new world beyond, the whole new world of possibilities and opportunities that are going to be not only remarkable, but at the same time they are this is all going to make you aware of the fact that you are going to be able to make a really difficult decision. This difficult decision, the key word is difficult. This difficult decision is not going to be difficult anymore whatsoever, because now you are going to become extremely enthusiastic, optimistic. You're going to become extremely creative and rather impatient as well, because you will know that this is going to bring a really remarkable opportunities into your life, and at the same time you're going to allow your creativity to take over. When we do things that we are passionate about, when we do things in this life, in this world, through our passion, we can do so much, because as I said, we reconnect with ourselves and we get so many insights, we get so many synchronicities, and this is exactly what's going to happen here. This is all going to lead towards you having this vision. This is on one hand going to lead towards you having a vision, but that particular vision that you're going to have, it's going to help you to regain control over your life. This vision that you are going to have, my gorgeous Scorpione, it's at the same time you will know this is a lot to do with a long-term view, but at the same time it's to do with the hard work that would normally put you off. But you will know, baby, you will know that this is going to bring you sustainable results indeed. This in itself is going to mark a remarkable beginning of a project and a very creative adventure. This in terms of you mentally, there is so much clarity that this is bringing into your life, but spiritually also, it's like you are going to feel alive again. I'm not saying that you didn't feel alive before, but only a couple of days later there is some kind of meditation that you are going to have, or you're going to be chilling out, or you're going to be relaxing. You're going to be in a very specific mood, very specific mode, which is at the same time going to bring you such an interesting insight. And this insight that you are going to have, it's like gonna really allow you to make a very important decision, around something that brought a mental exhaustion into your life. And it was very pretty much so, rather often it was affecting you while you were sleeping. So this is a lot to do with an ongoing problem, that it was keep on bringing you down and affecting your vibration and affecting your energy. When our energy and vibration is affected, then we can't see things clearly, we can't relax, we can't move on. And very often when we come across something that we should start, that we should do in our life on this specific spiritual journey that we are living right now, then we're just like kind of put off from a challenge that we should enjoy. Yes, I said enjoy. So it's all about, this energy being stolen from us, affecting our vibration, which is just making things darker for us at a time when we should elevate ourselves ourselves by being optimistic, because by being optimistic you just give to yourself this powerful spiritual armor which is just protecting you instead of affecting you in a negative way. So when there is an energy leaking, within our spiritual bubble, this normally happens when something is like kind of left unresolved due to karma, or we are persistently worrying about something that we need to come to terms with. So this is really going to help you to not only reconnect with yourself, but to come to terms with something as well, which is gonna really play a really big role and contribute towards you really wanting to move on with your life, my gorgeous Scorpione, indeed. And I will say that also, at the beginning of this week, there is, someone that you're really going to become aware of, like very close to you, that it's going to be acting very, very strange. And somebody, that particular person, you are going to become aware of, trust me, because you're connected to that person. You're connected to that person spiritually, and you're connected to that person mentally. So you're almost going to kind of have some kind of premonitions of one specific person in your life going through something very difficult, but you're not going to be able to explain where this is coming from. And then you're going to hear about that person. There is somebody very dear to you, very close to you, very important to you, that is very close to devil, to the actual devil bastard himself, itself, whatever it is, but it's like this person, this dear person in your life, it's very close to some kind of devil. So it's somebody who's going through something very, very difficult. But please don't tell me, oh, I don't care what's going on in somebody else's life. No, baby, no. It is someone who is very much so connected to you, somebody who's connected to you on so many different levels, and somebody who means to you so much. Well, this particular person, my gorgeous Scorpione, you're gonna become aware of at the beginning of this week, and you will know that something, first of all, through your mind, your subconscious mind is going to make you remind yourself of that person. And then later on that day, on the same day, there is something else that you're going to hear that person has done, or that person is doing, or that person has done something completely out of character. And I suggest you very strongly to step through and step forward, because you do have a very much so powerful experience right now. It became powerful, something dark and negative and awful that you went through. So the bottom line is that you have successfully dealt with some kind of similar situation, and now you're going to be able to say to that person what to do, what not to do, and what most importantly, what to avoid. That person is standing and facing some kind of temptation, and if that person goes forward with that temptation, it is going to affect their whole life forever. And because their life is going to be affected, your life is going to be affected as well, purely because you are connected to this person so much. So on one hand, subconsciously, you're already going to be aware of who is that. But then, as I said, on the very same day, you are going to hear something about that person doing something really completely out of character. And all you need to do is just to get in touch with that person and see where this is going to take you. You don't even need to mention anything. Just talk about like a sky, and talk about the sun, talk about the moon, and talk about, I don't know, nature, whatever. And it's just going to end up, I tell you, in that particular conversation, what is going on in that person's life, because they're going to tell you something and you are instantly going to become so worried about it whatsoever. Through you, that person is going to clearly understand that that person needs to set the certain boundaries. And yes, my gorgeous Scorpione, there is something else there. There is something for you there. Once you connect with that person and once you talk to that person, the end of the conversation, it's going to end up being like, you cannot possibly imagine what the end of this conversation is actually going to be. There is something really specific about yourself that it's actually going to be highlighted, and it's going to remind you to start something, and to not to forget about a certain aspect of your life that means to you so much. But because you've been through a lot lately, you forgot about it. So it's going to remind you of something really specific that you need to work on, and you need to finish, and and you need to put more energy towards it. And now it's time to take this onto the next stage of your life. Very important for you to remember this, my gorgeous Scorpione. Indeed. And also, like, this is so fantastic. Going back, like what I was speaking to before, not going back to what I was speaking to before, but going back to the beginning of this week. This is all about the actual beginning of this week, It's like basically you also need to kind of like try to bring a bit more like a balance into your life. I think that you're gonna feel like you need a little bit of break. Yes, you are gonna need something to rejuvenate yourself. It's just so important to understand that you need something to break the certain cycle in your life, my gorgeous Scorpione. So that's why you're gonna feel like a little bit tired and you're gonna feel a little bit drained at around the beginning of this week. But there is something that is persistently going to be on your mind, some kind of problem, some kind of issue, and that is going to be a clear sign and indication to do two things. To work on that, you can do that. You need to break some kind of cycle. You need to do something different. It's about spiritual domino. By breaking cycle, this is going to bring the whole new world again into your world. But at the same time, you're also going to have a clear sign and indication that this is a clear sign and indication that you need to do something for yourself. You need to treat yourself. You need to maybe take a little break. Think about work-life balance. And maybe you're not working. Then you need to do something different. But you need to kind of treat yourself. And that is just so important, because it's going to rejuvenate you, but it's also gonna like kind of only a couple of days later you will be able to kind of really you will see the potential where you normally don't see potential when it comes to your life. So that couldn't have been better time for you to kind of understand and realize as well, because each step of the way you're sharpening yourself up. You do understand that we do need to take a break every now and then, but if we don't take a little break, if we don't take a little break, then it's going to be very difficult for us to come out of the particular spiritual bubble we have found ourselves in. Sometimes to be content is not enough. You see what I mean? Sometimes to be content, it's actually the actual sign, the clear sign that you need to kind of you need to step forward. You need to do something which is going to test you in such a way where you are gonna also at the same time, when my point is that you need to do something which is going to make you aware of the fact that you need to come out of your comfort zone. And in this stage, my gorgeous Scorpione, that is going to mean strictly you regaining your strength, okay? Because like that you will regain your strength and you're going to be so much happier. Why? Because this is going to lead towards you bringing a blessing into your life in as little as 4 weeks' time. In as little as 4 weeks' time, after you come out of your comfort zone, this is going to bring a remarkable blessing into your life. You will see things in a completely different light. And once you see things in a completely different light, you need to understand that you are going through a remarkable transformation. This transformation is going to be different, but it's also going to bring an important closure into your life. Closure is ever so important because it's like a spiritual compass. Okay, it's not about closure as such, but it's more about the spiritual compass that we follow, and that brings an important justice into our lives. Okay. And also at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Scorpione, listen to me very carefully. There is some kind of collaboration or something is going to be going on here. Some kind of collaboration or something is going to be going on where you're going to learn that, to look at the things differently in your life, to look at things from a different angle, and where you're going to learn also and realize what do you need to implement into your life. This in itself, it's really pretty much so to do with you nurturing your life, nurturing your soul, nurturing your spirit. This is a lot to do with you also, like kind of making sure that you get the most out of this life, you know, and making sure that you are really kind of like like you are making the whole quality of your life so much better, because you will know when it comes to that collaboration and when it comes to what you're going to learn at the same time, this is the moment of your personal evolution where you will know something is going to be on your mind, especially when it comes to you some kind of action, and that in itself is going to come directly through and from your intuition, and it's going to be something very, very sacred going on here. This is connected to the sacred knowledge within. Sacred knowledge, everything that you have learned so far in your life is leading you to this moment, to this point in time. This is not about money, this is not about finances, this is not about success, no baby, no, but it's about getting the most out in life. When it comes to you living every second, every minute, every moment, being so much happier than you are right now. Of course, that you're going to feel like now it's time for action, but it's all going to lead towards this wise choice. Remember, it's to do with nurturing your soul and nurturing your spirit and making your life so much more meaningful. It's to do with the sacred knowledge. This is all coming directly through your subconscious mind. Pay attention to the synchronicities around you, but also at the same time you need to pay attention to trusting yourself as well, because you are gonna feel a rather sensitive indeed. I really like this so much because all this is gonna happen completely unexpectedly, and it is pretty much so to do with your destiny. This is to do with your destiny, this is to do with your life purpose, but most importantly, it's to do with an amazing turning point after so many ups and downs that you've been through, my gorgeous Scorpioni. Indeed, this is all going to be preparing you to do what you love, okay? To do what you love, indeed. Just remember this. That's what we are meant to do. That's what we are meant to do. What we are passionate about, what we love. And we must not waste our time whatsoever, because the time on this earth, it's like very, very short. You know how quickly the time goes, and that's what always I'm trying to explain to people. Indeed, the more individual you are, the more different you are, the more unique you are, the more bizarre you are, the more strange you are, the more successful and the more happier you're going to be. And the more people think like, oh, you're so weird, you're so strange, you know what I mean, the more successful you're going to be and the greatest achievement you're actually going to have. Okay, so this is why this is so important. Sorry. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah? It's like to do with some kind of disappointment. You are gonna become aware of something that is really going to disappoint you a little bit. Something that you were so passionate about, but then at the same time, it's more about you feeling so disappointed about something not working out. And the more you kind of understand that you have to walk away from him, from this, the more you understand the more you understand that you have to walk away from this, the more you understand that you have to, what you have to leave behind. You know, the sooner you understand this, the sooner you are going to be able to gather this energy, which is going to give you courage and persistence, you know, especially and you know, especially when it comes to you having a bit of a test here, especially when it comes to your own resilience. Okay, so your own resilience is actually going to be tested, because you are going to become wary of certain things, you know, that are going to kind of make you worried, you know, just through your own intuition. But then at the same time, this is all going to be leading towards you understanding what do you need to walk away from. So what is going to disappoint you, and what you're going to feel like you want to abandon, what you're going to feel like you want to walk away from. That's exactly what you should do, my gorgeous Scorpione. Indeed, it is very, very important in so many different ways, because this in itself, this is so important, because at around this time there is some kind of mystery something very, very mysterious. You're going to become aware of some kind of mystery. You're going something very mysterious you're going to become aware of. And this mysterious thing that you're going to become aware of is something very mysterious is going to happen, and it's going to remind you of some kind of dream that you had. And this in itself, it's really kind of going to it's going to reconnect you with some kind of premonition that you've had, or you are going to have a premonition in this moment in time, which is really kind of going to make you realize that some kind of wish, it's about to come true. And that in itself, it's like going to give you enough of an emotional stability to kind of walk away from something that no longer serves you, something that you're disappointed about, and it's just like kind of making your life like almost as if you like in the actual competition with yourself. You don't want to be in competition with yourself. Do you know what I mean? So this is why this is so important. Just remember, this is all gonna lead towards you being able to do what you love. So as soon as you understand what you need to kind of walk away from, as soon as you do this, like 3 days later, it's all about you having this really, really amazing opportunity to do what you love. And it's not only about that. You are gonna find yourself doing what you love. You're gonna be enjoying yourself so much. But the most important thing here is that what you're going to be working on that you love 3 days after that moment in time, this is also going to bring you a recognition of the highest quality of your work. And that in itself, it's really kind of important when it comes to you gaining very much so an excellent reputation here. So you need to make the most of it, my gorgeous Scorpioni, indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, it's like, oh my God, what is going on here? Scorpioni, this week is like, oh my God. Oh my God, okay? So by the time the last part of this week happens, you are gonna have a very much so mind-blowing experience, okay? So at around the end of this week, you are going to have a mind-blowing experience, and that mind-blowing experience is gonna be so significant that it's going to leave you with absolutely no choice but to make a certain changes. This significant mind-blowing experience you are going to have, it's actually to do with a very powerful and a rather unexpected revelation, which is going to help you to break free in so many different ways, but it's also going to make you aware of how much you've actually changed. This in itself, it's on another note, again, going to leave you with no option but to pay attention to alignment that you have found yourself in, because you are going to be overwhelmed by choices after that moment in time that you're going to be facing. You are going to be overwhelmed by these choices, and you're going to like this so much. These choices that you're going to be overwhelmed by, you just need to understand that you need to be very practical how you're going to proceed, and you need to have a sensible approach, and you are going to become aware of that, because what you must not do, contemplation is perfectly fine, but you must not going into this dark hole of over-analyzing, because if you start over-analyzing again, you're just going to lose yourself, and then you're just going to have to find yourself again, so this is something that you need to remember, because this situation, all this is going to make you feel so good, and this is something that it's only gonna reconnect you, help you to reconnect to, with you doing what you love. So this is what you need to understand. As soon as you become overwhelmed by these choices, you are gonna have a bit of a contemplation, but it's important to not to go to overanalyze things, because, this is all gonna lead towards your inner happiness, fulfillment, and just like a fantastic contentment in life that you need, because it is all about raising this healing vibration again in your life, which is gonna make you see things like clearly, and at the same time it's just like kind of going to reconnect you in such a way where you're gonna remind yourself of something very, very specific, an old dream of yours. Now suddenly you're gonna feel that again. an old dream of yours, something that you were working on many years ago, now you're going to be reminded of. Now there is a very specific reason for it, because you're going through your personal spiritual evolution. You've been through so much, so now it's time to like reconnect with yourself in such a way where you're going to realize exactly what's missing, something that you were doing so much before, but now it's going to be absolutely impossible not to notice this. Yes, that's right, this is something you need to bring into this present moment immediately. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.